Yeah, so what some companies do, which is wrong, they'll have the web server and the database server, or web application and database application on the same server. That's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. Why are they doing that? Because they're probably trying to save money. It costs money to have two different servers. Duh. But it's wrong. And it's wrong because if I hack your web server, if I hack into this into this server right here, guess what? I hacked your web server and your database server. Now you're done. If I just hacked your web server, which was by itself right here, and your database server was by itself on the right, well, guess what? You're good. At least I didn't get to the database. I compromised the web server. So that's why we separate them. So right now we're able to communicate with our database server, our Linux server. So now let's fix, because we still can't communicate back to, let's do this IP config to get this IP. We still can't communicate back to our Windows machine because we didn't change those firewall rules yet, or that security group. So let's change that. We're going to go back to security group, find the security group that we are using for our, oh yeah, I already have it set. So find the security group that you're using, and then I want you to put the same rule or the same entry, and these rules are called ACLs. These are access control lists. This is an access control list. This is your firewall's ACL. AWS just wanted to be Amazon and called it security group. But you're going to go back into your firewall rules and create a new ACL. And you're going to do all ICMP, IPv4. ICMP is the vehicle. All port ranges, doesn't matter what door. And the source, we're allowing it from anywhere. Okay. And you're probably saying, oh, you have the door open. Why can't you ping it? Well, I'm going to show you why. So we can't ping it. I want you to try and ping it, and you shouldn't be able to ping it still. You shouldn't be able to ping it still, and it's because Windows, every once in a while, Windows wants to get it right. You know, they want to act like they're secure every once in a while. So Windows, the firewall on the host itself, the firewall. So we have the security group in AWS, and then in Windows, if you go to your firewall, it's on and it's stopping the ICMP vehicle from driving in. So if you hit the start button, and see this is perfect because in the real world you would have done the ping and you would have seen that okay, I can't communicate to the system, and then you would have gone back in AWS or whatever wherever you were holding your configurations, and you would have opened up the firewall, right? And then just like we did, we ping it again and we still can't talk to it. Now, some people, they're going to give up right there. They're done. They're going to escalate it to the next tier where they didn't even troubleshoot as much as they could. You know, and what I just said out of my mouth just now, if you said that in an interview, I'll give you a job. It's okay, cool. Because you've just addressed the real world scenario to me that it's actually happening everywhere. You know, and you sound like you know what you're talking about. So the next step would be okay, are there any other firewalls in place? Because organizations have more than one firewall. The AWS security group, that is our network firewall. Network firewall. It is stopping cars like ping and ICMP and SSH from coming in and out of the network. Remember in Security Plus, for all my Security Plus folks, there's like two of y'all in here who passed it already. We have our network firewall, and then we have our host-based firewall. Windows Defender is the host-based firewall for Windows. It's the host-based firewall. So we open the door on the network firewall. Cool. But there's another layer of security, defense in depth. There's another layer of security, defense in depth. There's another layer of security that's stopping us from communicating. So we're going to open up this Windows Defender firewall. You can open it up. But like I said, I like to challenge myself to see if I remember commands. So I'm just going to show you guys this. You can open it up. You go in here and you just turn off your firewall, okay? Turn off, turn off, turn off. But I'm going to see if I remember the command to do it from this command line. Cool. So my firewall should be off now. Yes, it's off. All you had to, you didn't have to do that. You just go here and you turn this off, you turn that off. But if I was a hacker, right? And the reason why I like to make sure my command line skills are up to date, if I was a hacker, I'm not gonna get this pretty GUI, this graphical interface. Like this right here that I'm moving around, this is a graphical interface. This looks nice. I can see everything I'm doing. I can go into your firewall and click, click, click. As a pen tester, this is all I get. I can't go in here and click, click, click. So if I don't know how to turn off your firewall from the terminal, I'm shit out of luck. I should just give up and quit my job because I don't know what I'm doing. So that's why it's good to know your command lines, your command line commands. So it's off. Now let's try and ping them again. I'm just gonna hit up. Okay? You can hit the up pad as much as you want. You're gonna see a whole bunch of different things. What we're gonna do, ping 172.31.90.9. Boom. Boom. Now you can talk to your Windows operating system. You can talk to your web server. And on Linux, when you do ping, Linux just likes to talk. So it's going to keep pinging and it's going to keep pinging and it's going to keep pinging until you stop with Control C. But for my security folks who really want to get technical, just think about what's going on right here. You are still pinging this Windows operating system. This Windows operating system is still responding to each and every one of your ping requests. There is a reason why this is turned off on firewalls. Because imagine if all of us in the class started pinging the same system and it kept replying to all of us exactly. The ping of death. It's a distributed denial of service attack. If I did this from, it might take a couple of systems. This is a 2019 server. But if I did this from, I'll just throw a crazy number, like 100 or 200 systems out there. If I did this from 200 systems, which I could with a botnet, with my, well, let me not tell myself, but if we could with a botnet and just ping it simply, that's it. And it's going to crash the server because the server doesn't have enough resources. IO, you said that every time you started your virtual machine, it was crashing. And I said the first thing that comes to my mind is your resources. If it's crashing, it's because it can't handle something. Something's happening that it can't handle. And that's what buffer overflow attacks look for. They love that shit. They love when your system can't handle something because what the buffer overflow is going to do, if the attacker knows that your system can't handle something, it's going to try and make your system do something after it crashes. And it can, because once your system crashes, it's like it has no guidance anymore. It needs somebody to tell it what to do. So which is why you turn it off. But hey, if I'm an attacker, I can tell it what to do. I can tell it to open up a back door and let me in that damn thing. Easy. So those are the commands that I did. And let me go over another command because the next class I want it to be a Wireshark class, but I don't want to like. Said if I could ask a quick question, how would you prevent this from happening though? I think you're talking about the ping of death, and so it's simple. Turn on your firewall rule. Let's go back here. We'll look at the host base and the network base. So let's go to network first. It's more familiar with everybody. We just go back over here and we would remove this entry. I don't want to remove it now because I want to show you the host base level, but we would just remove this entry right here. On AWS, remember, if it's not explicitly open, if I don't open the door in AWS, you can't come in. So every other thing right now, port 21, port 25, ports 53, all those other ports, you can't go through these ports because on AWS, you have to open it. We had to open this to allow ping. With the firewall rule in place, it can't go. But remember, you have network-based firewalls and you have host-based firewalls, two different levels. There are different types of firewalls, but the two levels are always going to be host-based and network-based. So host-based, you're gonna do is different from AWS, because in AWS, if you don't say, "Hey, open this door," it's open. Over here, these ACLs, where am I looking for? Advanced, advanced with it. See, I'm used to doing IP tables on Linux. Here we go. So here, there's an ICMP rule. It has to be, obviously, because it was blocked. These are all the inbound rules. If I can get my mouse back. No. These are all the inbound rules right here on your Windows OS. Probably not going to be that easy for me to spot out the ICMP pack. That's what I don't like about Windows. I can't like type. Well, I could type and search, but somewhere file printer, key management, network discovery. It's going to be one of these network discovery ones because that's what we're doing. See, these are all the rules, and you're saying, oh, no, 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 no. Must be an implicit deny here because all these are allowed. Rules. Yeah, but this is where you would configure. You would say, "Hey, firewall, stop this traffic," but these are all. It looks like it's an implicit deny rule going on here, and we'll talk about implicit denies later. It's pretty much saying, "Hey, if it's not here, if we don't write it out explicitly like we do in AWS, then we don't want it." So, and if it's not written here, everything else is blocked. That's what it looks like right now. But that's how you would stop it. You would just with a simple firewall rule, which you could also do. I didn't mean to do that. Let's say, because sometimes you need that. You know, sometimes you're going to need to ping your machines. How else are you going to figure out if a machine is online, right? So if I block the firewall, I mean, if I put up a firewall rule to stop you from pinging, how are you going to troubleshoot? So you have to have it open. Now, how would you prevent a DDoS attack or a ping of death attack in that situation where you need to have it open? Well, the best way is with another tool, an IPS, intrusion prevention system. And what that will do is look for those types of attacks. It will look for a system or three systems or four or five systems just sending an abnormal amount of ping requests, and it'll stop it. IPSs can stop that. IDSs, it won't stop. IDS stands for intrusion detection. It's just detecting it. It's going to detect, hey, somebody's sending you 100 pings. Here's an email. Now you have to do something about it. IPSs are more favorable because it'll detect and stop. IPS stands for intrusion prevention system. So it will say, hey, these are an abnormal amount of ping requests. Let me stop it because you already configured me to stop this. So that's how you would stop it. And there's more ways to stop it. The most effective way is with an IPS so that you can still use the ping utility because you're going to need it. But you're only on the network firewall, you would stop it, you would block it because there's no reason why somebody on the internet or outside of your organization would need to ping machines inside of your organization. There's no reason. So on AWS or our network firewall, like Palo Alto, that's a network firewall, or Suricata, we would just say, hey, network firewall, block all ping requests. Hey, host-based firewall, Windows Defender for Windows, IP tables for Linux. Hey, we want you to allow pings. Okay, and then you would have an IPS on the inside of your network making sure that somebody didn't hack one of your systems and then they're just pinging all of your systems to see what else is online. You'll have an IPS on the inside to detect for that. We can actually draw that out in one of the in one of the classes because that's what I do. That's what security consultants do. Like everybody, if you take a security plus or you take the CAS plus, you'll see that it's similar information. You're learning about different tools. You're learning about different concepts. You're learning about different protocols and cool stuff, whatever. But as a security consultant, it's my job to actually, because everybody wants to be secure. Everybody wants the most They want everything. They want the IPS, they want the firewalls, they want the intrusion detection systems. Some people want UTMs, people want the best F5 load balancers, but they don't have the budget to do that. So it's my job to create a diagram that's going to be effective for their organization. Like, okay, if and it all depends on so many different things. I can't just come in there and say, hey, okay, you guys should use this IPS, you guys should use this. No, I got to. What do you guys? Do you guys face a lot of ping of devs? Do you guys face a lot of emo attacks? Do you guys face a lot of different phishing campaigns? Depending on what your business operates from, and depending on what you do and how you make your money, and how you're getting attacked and how you're losing money, then I can sit down and take my time and devise a diagram. And I need to know your budget, of course. And I can pick which tools will be the most effective for you, and I'll tell you why, and I'll show you how to set it up and the whole 9 yards, and why they're effective, because I'll pen test them for you. So we can draw out that diagram one of these days, on one of the Cyber Thursdays. But the next one, I really wanted to get into Wireshark. I really wanted to get into some fun shit, because all this stuff is cool. AWS is cool. Firewalls are cool. I guess they're cool. But the fun stuff comes when you get to analyze the traffic, when you get to see what's going on. Like, but if I go to like Facebook.com here on Wireshark, when we say encrypted, I don't know if anybody's ever seen an encrypted channel or an encrypted communication. With Wireshark, you can see that. We can see the unencrypted traffic. Like, if you find a way to send somebody to a fake Instagram page and they go there and they type in their username, you could capture their credentials and then hack their account, and do whatever you want to do with it. Of course, you have to find a way to direct them there, which we can show you. That's pretty easy. But you won't be able to analyze it if you don't know how to use Wireshark. You don't know how to analyze the traffic, the packets, or I should probably say a second. Yeah, let me not confuse you. But we want to get into the fun stuff, and that's what we're going to do in the next class. I think I'll just, it depends. I'll send out an email and we'll see. I don't want, because I can get lost in the sauce with Wireshark. It's fun. I love it. So we'll probably turn that into a Wireshark class, because now we're able to communicate with each other. And we saw that we have port 443 and we have port 80 open. Next, we're going to see why we should close port 80. There's a reason why we don't want to use port 80, because it's unsecure. We know that. Okay, cool. But sometimes you'll have it open and you'll need it open. But I want you to see why it's insecure or unsecure, so you can understand what other security controls that you would put around it. Okay, if we have port 80 open and we know it's not secure, well, we need to put other controls around it to lessen the impact of getting compromised, or to lessen the impact of a man in the middle attack, or to lessen the impact of some type of data leak. And we'll talk about that, but we first need to see why ports like port 21, port 80, even DNS, which everybody has to use, they're unsecure protocols. And we're going to see that with Wireshark next class, and we'll go through the packets. We'll go through the packets, and I'll let you see what it actually looks like from compared to a secure channel, like HTTPS port 443. And other than that, if you have any questions, we can still do your virtual machine. But if you have any questions, let us know. If you have any topics you want us to bring up, bring it up. Let me know. We'll bring it up. We can do whatever. We can even go into. We're gonna go into Splunk one day. With this is a all you can eat class. All right, we eat. So whatever you want to go over, let me know. We can do it. If you're really serious about getting Security Plus certified, like really serious about taking this to the next level, because Cyber Thursdays are cool. And the people in the class who are in the class and they're on this session right now, they'll tell you we break these things down a lot further in the class. Right now, I even feel like I'm rushing it because I'm used to the class's tempo. But we break these things down a lot further in the class, and we learn a lot more. Cyber Thursdays are really to give a different perspective. It's really a faster perspective. It's not a broken down perspective. So I try to break it down as much as I can for Cyber Thursdays, but it's a faster perspective because it's coming from, well, shedding light in different areas. It's showing you how to do everything, like what people actually do. Like I may throw the word basic around and simple around, but that's, to me, that's from my perspective, and I got to work on that. But it's not really basic in the real world. You will be paying systems every day, every once in a while, and you will be doing IP And they'll ask you about that stuff. It's basic at the interviews. If you can't answer that at the interview, I'm not going to hire you. I mean, I've turned a lot of people down because they couldn't answer simple stuff. So that's what Cyber Thursdays is for. To actually get Security Plus certified, you want to take the course. You want to take the 10-week course because we take our time. It's Monday through Thursday. Starts at 6:30 p.m., 2 hours a day. And the instructors let to take the time with you. They're going to break the topics down with you. They'll stay on after class with you. There's a recap before class, a recap after class. The quizzes are thorough. The exams are thorough. And the virtual labs are thorough. Super thorough. So if you even think this stuff right here is cool, you'd be surprised what you're going to see in the class. Like I said, if you're really serious about that, sign up on onlinesecurity.com. The class starts June 8th. It's a 10 seats limit. We're not going over 10 seats because we don't want to overwhelm the instructors. But if you're really serious about doubling your salary and taking your career to the next level, which we're all confident it's going to happen when you come to this field, it's highly lucrative. It's just money for everybody, honestly, at this point. Then sign up for the class. Sign up for the class, and Cyber Thursday is still going to help you even when you're doing the class. But sign up for the class and let's get you certified because that's the first thing you're going to need to get into the field. You won't get into the field with little to no experience and no certification. I can guarantee you that. But you can get into the field with little to no experience and the Security Plus certification. With that being said, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. This was a pretty cool Cyber Thursday. I had more fun than I thought because I told you all this stuff is like, I want to show you guys the juicy stuff so you can see where I'm coming from. So you can understand why this is addicting. Um, but I appreciate you all. I'm gonna stay on here. I think I wanted some help with some troubleshooting, which I'm down to do. Um, but if you guys want to hop off, feel free to do so. Once again, thank you for joining, and I appreciate your time.